So with that, today I want to talk about your online resources to help manage your properties, people, and programs. And the 5 sites that I'm going to show you is the Michigan Catholic Conference Risk Management website. From that, you can get to, I'll show you the learning management system. I'm going to show you briefly the traveler's risk control. And I'm going to show you a website called Safe Parish that you may not be aware of. Our diocese might know about that because we rolled it out to the diocese a while ago. I can show you how to get your individual sign on for that. If you want to sign up for that, you can either email me, which my email address is at the very end, or Michael Jenkins at safeparish.com. His email's right there for you. And then I'm going to show you quick the My Community Workplace, which is another website of articles mainly for religious organizations, things like that, that you may want to visit once in a while. Okay, so with that, I'll go to the MCC Risk Management website. That is our main area that we like to send people to when they have things to do. So there's the travelers one. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So first of all, you go to Michigan Catholic Conference, micatholic.org, main site. Click on there's a ribbon up top. You click on risk management. Okay, it'll change to these things. If you click on it again, you'll get to the main risk management site. This is actually where we put all of our webinars. This particular webinar, because it's a bookkeeper, in the bookkeeper series, it will also be in the benefits area, but we sort of double post it to this area as well. I did one a couple weeks ago on idle buildings. That's out there. And then our 3-part series on basically protected loss fund as a whole is on here. And then we have a travelers one also, staying ahead of winter weather, which you might all want to go through that again here soon, being as November 12th. And I don't think we're going to have some 70-degree days again. So, but mainly this website, there are several things that we like you to see on this. One is if you get a new house donated, a lot of parish will have a house donated to them that's on an adjacent property. We like to know about it. You click on the new building log, and you just fill out this form. All the information with asterisks are required. You hit submit, we get an email, we add it to a spreadsheet, and then there's insurance on that property. So it's important if if you have a new construction, things like that, you put in new building. Even if you get like I said, a house donated and you're going to, demolish it in 6 months, whatever, it's important that we know about it just so there's insurance on it while you have it. The other area that's important is special events. For those on the presentation, they're responsible for that. This is where you find the directions, step by step, as well as the actual application. The section that's very important, of course, is the loss prevention information and forms. Okay, if a parish gets a new vehicle or replaces a truck that is a maintenance truck, or a school gets a new bus, you used to have to request a certificate from us rather. Now we have them out here. We'll change these every year. So if you're in Diocese of Kalamazoo, for instance, you click on that. It's a form fill now. So you put in year, make, model, VIN, and then your parish or institution if you're not a parish. Then you have to, that is your proof of insurance that you keep in the vehicle, right? You still have to let us know about the vehicle because we have to add that to the system. And then this list just goes on and on, as you can see. Labor laws, obviously, for any place of employment need to have labor laws. Recently, we put them all in one link. So you click on this, it contains all 14 of the required ones. So you don't have to click here and kind of, click and print, click and print. We put them all in one. Another good form out here was a lot of them. The snow and ice removal log. Obviously, we need to have that during winter weather to show that we're salting and removing snow. There's winter weather checklists and things. These are from travelers. They send us these, and we can share those with you. We have the self-inspection program. Click on this. This is the big 22-page. You could break it apart, share it with maintenance staff, etc. That helps you with your self-inspections at your locations. There's field trip things here, of course, playground equipment, safety checklist. There's a student accident, student assurance. If you have a student that gets injured, you need to follow that process. So we try to put everything out here that you may need, and some things you may not need, but good guidelines and things like that. So that's basically the risk management part of the site as far as the information and forms. If you can't find something, you can always click on here and say bus. Bus too small. Let's do inspection. So that should get there's a roof maintenance inspection sheet. There's a self-inspection form that I showed you. So you can always use that search button if you're looking for something specifically. Okay. Now, the second area that I wanted to show is the learning management system. So from the risk management website, you click on the learning management system. Okay. Now from here, you can, if you already have a username and password, you obviously can, you can make your computer remember it, or you can register. And by registering, you go here, you can choose your own name. So let's just, for the sake of this, I'll do John G. MCC test. Password, put my first name, last name, my email address, and then I choose your organization, right? So first you choose your diocese. So I'm not gonna pick on any diocese in particular. I'll do Marquette Diocese and hit continue. Okay, of course. So I already have an account, so it's not going to let me set up. But once you do, I'm going to put in. Well, I can't put in another one because I can't get access to it. That's fine. But you hit choose, and it'll then go to. Well, let me just make sure it's not just Marquette here. A password is required, of course. All right, so let's see if this works. Probably not because my email. Yeah. See, I think I did a Marquette one when I was playing around the other day. So now I'm in Detroit, and now I would pick my parish, right? So let's just do Assumption Grotto, and then you hit continue. And it's working. So it set me up. So this is something that you and every individual at your parish school can do individually. Okay. And then you go here and you hit training. And this shows me that there's been 4 modules that have been assigned through a loss prevention visit. Okay. Because this is the same platform that gets used for that. But individually, we have 25 modules that you can pick to do. Right now, there's slip, trip, fall, disaster planning, Catholic cemeteries. Obviously, only a handful of people would be doing that one. Safe housekeeping practices, portable fire extinguishers, etc. There's one called, where is it? creating a safe holiday celebration. Okay, that's going to become very important soon. Talks about, artificial trees versus real trees, lights, etc. So you can click on this, you add it, and then you can take it. And what's nice about this is, they vary in length, and it shows you 16 minutes, 9 minutes. You start taking one, you get a call, you can stop it, close it out, you know, take the phone call, go to lunch, whatever. And then when you go back into it, actually picks up where it left off. And you can't finish the module until you do a little, like a 10-second quiz, 10 question quiz at the very end. It's, that kind of checks to make sure that you were paying attention, and you have to get I think 7 out of 10 right, maybe 8 out of 10 right. I can't remember exactly, in order for it to be completed. And you can actually print, when you finish them, you can actually print a little certificate, and it prints a little certificate that says you completed it. That's really important for like your bloodborne pathogen training that schools have to take, right? So bloodborne pathogen training, you can make sure all your teachers, teacher aides, things like that, are make sure they take that every time that the certification comes up, and then take it, print your certificate. If you are an administrator at a particular parish, contact me afterwards, and then I can show you how to actually go on as the administrator and assign modules to people, assuming that they're already logged in, or assuming they already registered. And then you can check their progress and things. So I'm not going to go over that because not everyone here would be that person. But again, you could log in as Assumption Grotto admin, and then go here and say, assign, pick the person, and have them take that. So if you're a principal and you want your teachers to take bloodborne pathogen and they are all registered on the site, you just go through and assign it to them. So that is very important to do. This allows individual sign-on. Like I said, it's a great resource, we think. Again, a lot of modules that is very good. And there's some shorts, which are just, actually there's 25 total, but some of them are shorts, which are just like 3-minute reminders of the ones that you've already taken. So this is alphabetical, so it's not really in order. But if you did slip, trip, and fall module, you can take the slip, trip, and fall safety short, which is just a quick little reminder of the things that you have learned. Okay, so that is our website in a nutshell. And I think this is a good time for a poll. I'm going to ask a question, everybody. So just so we get a sense of incoming traffic and things to look for, I want to know how likely each of you are to register or have someone, a colleague, to register on the learning management system. Okay, we'll wait just a second. We got most of the answers in here. I will end it now. Okay, then I'll share it. So there's a tie between likely and certain. That is music to my, well, not music to my ears because I'm not hearing it, but I am I'm pleased to see no unlikelies. So I convinced most of you that it's worth registering for. Good, real good. So hopefully I can hear from many of you if you're having trouble with this, if you have questions on it. But I am that's encouraging. I appreciate that. Okay, so moving on. Looks like I have a question. Oh, okay. Someone voted that way. Okay, that's fine. All right. So moving on to the Travelers Risk Control site. And these, I did mention this during my main webinar, the 3-part one. That was actually part 3, were the online resources, but I wanted to do it a little more in depth. So the Travelers Risk Control website, I'm already logged in here, so I wanted to show you a couple areas that may be very pertinent to your roles at your separate locations, you and or your colleagues. And for this, if you want to register for this, you have to tell me. There's not a way to self-register, unfortunately, just because it's a global site, right? Travelers is a global company, as you know, the famous red umbrella. We are a client of theirs, so we have access, and all of our people, which are you, have access as well. So it's very good. It's very comprehensive. A lot of things going on with it. But I wanted to highlight a couple areas for you. So if you wanted to register for this, you're just going to have to email me separately, and I go through, and there's a little registration um, tool that I use. The good news is once you're registered, and I can show you this in a second, you can actually register other people by assigning them a task. So keep that in mind. If you want to register yourself and then the maintenance person and the principal, you can just let me know. I'll register you, and then you can go out there and register them by assigning them a task. Okay. So basically, this is the home, and you have a library, you've got tools, training, etc. So obviously, the library is going to be a lot of information on workplace safety, fleet safety, etc. Your tools are going to be the things that they have here that we can use, like checklist inspections. If you notice, these 3 things are also on the home page. Then there's training. They've got a slew of modules and other things. Of course, you got to click United States because there's certain laws and codes that only pertain to United States. You got services, and then you got the search button. Of course, with every good website, you got search. You search on something like winter, hit go. I hit enter. Either one works. And then you got winter driving quiz. You've got winter weather. Plan ahead to protect your property. That's the same module. If it's not the same, it's very similar to the one that they did for us that we have posted. And on our risk management site that I showed you already. So winter safety, winter weather checklist. Some of these are forms, some of these are videos, etc. So the search button is very powerful. So if you go back to the home button, a couple things that are good here are these 3 main things, right? So self-assessments. This is this is this gives you the ability to fill out a pre um, you know pre-made out form to give your own location an assessment, and there's different categories. So um, I think I'm logged in here. It's logged in as me, and I think I put like education or something because you had to choose a category of your business, and that's the closest thing related. So it's already recommended for education industry. Okay, because obviously you don't want to do industrial, right? You don't need the big industrial focus training, things like that. But fall protection, uh, you've got property and fire safety, protecting idle and vacant buildings, which is a recent webinar we did. Slip, trip, fall. See, so you click on that, you click select, and it goes through all these questions. You can go through here, and again, this is a self-assessment. Click on the answers, and then you just click next, and it goes through an assessment. So that's a very powerful tool. Go back home. I'm not going home. I'll stay right here with you. But checklist and inspection. So again, these are a lot of checklists that they have. That there's ones that are built in, but you can create a checklist. This is a very powerful tool too for maintenance staff and you got your grounds committees, things like that. You go through here, and then you get a choose a category. Okay, slip, trip, fall entryways. Let's say you want to focus on all the entryways. Click on that. You hit customize. You create the name for it, do description, and you kind of build it through there. Okay. I, I've done very few of these, and they've changed a little bit. If you have any issues with it, I can help you through it, but it's pretty self-explanatory as you go through this and create a checklist. And again, there's various kinds: portable fire extinguisher inspection, and there's a handful of more. Another winter weather one, right? So it's very important, as we all know. So that's a very important tool as well. Again, if you go back to the home area, there's another important section called Task Manager. And this is just separate tasks, right? So this is, you can kind of set up, oh, need to check something or whatever. And this is how you actually, if you want to set up other people at your organization, you can create a task and you can just call it other. This is what I usually do to set people up. Put the name of the task in, write a quick description, and then here's some names of people. I think some of you are already on this webinar, but you can add a new user. Okay, you add new user, put in the email, first name, last name, their role, and then a question. Okay, so when you're setting someone up, you choose one of these, you put the answer down, then you just let them know that. So because they'll get an email, they'll click on a link and they'll have to answer that security question. So that's how you add other people to the site. If that doesn't work for some reason, let me know. I may have different security rights, but I don't think so. I think everyone's able to do that. Okay, so there's a lot of other things within Travelers, but I think that is the main thing that I wanted to focus on. And that brings us to another poll. So let's do this poll. So how likely are you to register and encourage others at your location to register for the Travelers Control site? Okay, we'll wait a minute here. I'll wait 45 seconds like I did last time. Okay, another second. All right, there we go. Share results. So there's one unlikely. I'm not offended. If there's nothing out there that would that interests you, that's fine. Some mostly possible ones. That's pretty much what I expected for this particular site because it is pretty expansive. There's a lot to it, but it's very, it's very maintenance based and safety loss control based, of course. So again, good. But I'm glad to see some certains and almost certains as well. Very happy with that. Again, any questions on that after this webinar, please let me know. Okay, so the other two areas are Safe Parish and My Community Workplace, which are actually, they share the same platform, which is not important to you, but it's the same people that work on it. And it's offered through our underwriter. So Safe Parish, and I'm logged in as this. I was logged in as this. Let's see. All right. It's give me a minute. Oh, there we go. So, and if you wanted access to this, like I said, you have to email me, which my email is at the end. See if I can write and talk at the same time. Email me your desire in registering, and what we need for that, you can either email me, which again, my email address later, or Michael Jenkins, which is mjenkins@safeparish.com. Let me show you that. Okay, you can email him. And what we need is your first name, last name, your email address, what diocese you're in, and your role at the organization. And that's important because if you're like an admin, you'll get like an uh, admin rights to it. If not, you'll get like just a default user. But Safe Parish is essentially centered around child safety, okay, which is very important. There's actually training on here that has replaced protecting God's children. A lot of us are used to protecting God's children. The same folks that actually put that together are behind this particular website. But there's a lot of articles in here. There's videos. You can sign up for weekly emails that highlights certain articles. You can go, my training, my library, which will have a lot of your things that you've bookmarked, things like that. Um, that's a ton of stuff, right? And it's geared toward religious organizations, of course. These are the new things. Says it right here, trending. So things that are important now. Very important stuff for all of us as parish people, right? I mean, child safety is the utmost importance, and this website is focused 100% on that. So again, if you want access to it, let me know and let Michael Jenkins know with first name, last name, email, diocese, and your role at your particular location. So similar to that is my community workplace. This is mostly just articles that's school related. Actually, if you click over here, you go to religious. Oh, great. Let's see. Well, it worked the other day, but that's okay. My community workplace. These are articles. You can click on. It works. If you believe me, religious nonprofit, and it just gears. If you click on one of these, it just gears the articles toward that certain area. And again, I believe you can sign up for. Now this one's a little different, right? Logging into this is more. You got to be on the Michigan Catholic Conference side of things, but you can go here. Anyone can go here and look at the articles they have available, etc. So there, I did change to not for profit. So this is actually a completely different uh, URL. It goes to my NP workplace, which is not profit. Go to religious. See if it's going to let me. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't want me to do that, but it does work. I just did it this morning. But anyway, so there's different areas of this site too. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. Again, I did this for you to give you a list of the available modules here. Again, this complete webinar will be posted on our website in a couple of days. You can always go back to it. So this, I want to open up 4 questions. Whoops. And I will try to answer them the best I can.
John, I got a couple of questions. We had a question from Liz wanting to know if they need coverage for golf carts.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that sort of unrelated to this. Liz, if you want to email me separately, if you own the golf cart and you're just driving it around, no, you don't. It's similar to a lawnmower, right? Or lawn tractor or that kind of thing. If it's not licensed, which it won't be, you don't need insurance on it. It's just property, right? If you are borrowing a golf cart for a festival or something, then that place that you're borrowing it from will need a certificate of insurance, most likely. So keep that in mind. But if you own a golf cart, it's like owning, like I said, a lawnmower or things like that. Got a question. Did I say Safe Parish replaces protecting God's children? Yes, in a way, it does. If you want to look at Safe Parish, they have training out there that is the new version, well, or a different version of protecting God's children. Like I said, the folks that put together protecting God's children 20 years ago or 50, well, however long it's been, they're behind the Safe Parish website. Okay, they created it from the ground up, and they've got training that has um, replaced protecting God's children, but that's a diocesan decision. So if the diocese wants to move from protecting God's children to the Safe Parish training, that sort of has to be discussed by them and decided by them, if that makes sense. And you can, Grace, you can contact me afterwards if you need more information on that. Um, do we need cyber liability from a contacted That is a separate question. The question is, do we need cyber liability coverage from our contacted or contracted, I assume, IT provider? Um, they should have it in place. We have cyber in place for all of our parishes and schools that extends down to your desktop computers, etc. But that may or may not cover what they provide. So you need to have that discussion with them. Again, that's a sort of a separate question that you can contact me afterwards. So does let's see, where am I going? Oh, yes. So does MCC have a template for creating a parish emergency response plan? Yes, we do. I'd have to find it. If I go to risk management, go to search, and if I search on emergency, let's see what happens. Okay, there's the emergency operations plan template. I think that's what you're looking for. Click on that. It'll download Microsoft Word. It's opening up over here. I'll move, slide it over here. So there, insert search church name, and it's a pretty lengthy thing. It's an 80 pager, but there's a template. So that is on our website. A Paris emergency response plan, emergency plan. Okay, I'm looking for guidance. Okay, so uh, another question is, I'm looking for guidance or checklist for oversight we should exercise over organizations that we allow to use facilities. That is, again, we have a document that is related to that. You could do use of, let's see if that works. In terms of use of church facilities. So we have as Knights of Columbus use of church facilities. I think that's just Knights of Columbus. Yeah. So let's not do that one. There is rental agreement. This is the rental agreement you can use, and it has. It's not what I'm looking for. We have a document out there, Alan, that talks about the when we should use it, when we shouldn't use it. I think it's in the special events section. I'm gonna get to it real quick. Special events handout, I believe. Okay, so there we go. This talks about when you should have it, guidelines and determining the need for it, uh, when it's not required, and then when there's endorsed groups that may or may not be required depending on the arrangement. Okay, so that document is under special events section of the documents and forms on our website. There's also a special events webinar that we did that I talk about it. So I answered that one, and then another question. I'll get to the Lori. I'll get to yours in a second. Sean asked, "Did you say to contact you if we would like access to Trevor's risk control site?" Yes. Contact me. This is the question and answers, but I will leave this up for a minute. Contact me. The best way to do it is to email me directly. You could general questions you can send to risk management. We try to monitor that as close as we can. Sometimes things get lost in there. And of course, Vince Andrews, manager of risk management and insurance, he can answer a lot of your questions that I may not be able to answer. But for the traveler's website, yes, email me. I'll get you signed up. And then from there, you should be able to sign up other people. Another question. Do you have any resources, checklists, building sanitation, self-assessment, etc. for COVID-19? Well, we decided to we do when it first came out, we did put some stuff out there, but mostly it's links to CDC because they update everything, they change things around a little bit, and that is who we defer to anyway. So whatever the CDC says, and then locally, obviously, it's what the state mandates are, and then more locally, it would be if a certain region has tighter restrictions and things like that. So it's just kind of keeping abreast of the current guidelines and things like that. Like right now it's pretty restrictive now because of the surge of cases. So I don't know what everyone's doing for Thanksgiving, but people are probably not going to see certain family members if they don't live in the same household and things like that. So again, we decided when this first started that it'd be too difficult to kind of stay on top of it and keep putting articles out there and guidelines out there. So we kind of just defer to the experts on it. So that's all I can really say about that. Any other questions? If not, I thank you. But you know what? Did I do my last poll? No, I didn't. See, I'm losing track. So again, this is Safe Parish. This is I want to know this because I'll have to let Michael Jenkins know if he should expect an influx of people that register it. So for those of you that plan to register for the Safe Parish website, and again, if several of you look at it and want it to replace protecting God's children training, then that conversation needs to have with the diocesan safe environments coordinator, or different dioceses call that role different thing, but basically the um, safe environments or safe parish, probably safe environments coordinator, or that kind of role. The dioceses are the ones that would make the ultimate decision. So okay, I'll end polling and then show results. So possible, unlikely, several of you, that's good, that's fine, and likely, almost certain. So a good number of people that will most likely register for Safe Parish. And again, you can email me. My email is here on the screen, or Michael Jenkins, which is, go back up here, mjenkins@safeparish.com. So email either of us, and again, we need your first name, last name, email, diocese, and your role at your organization. Oh, there's one more question here. Two more questions. Safe Parish Place a Circle of Grace program. I do not. I actually don't know what the Circle of Grace program is, Lisa. If you could elaborate on that, or just talk to me afterwards. Safe Parish does Safe Parish have a module for vulnerable adults rather than just children? I believe it does, Melissa. I believe it does. I don't. I haven't been to it recently a lot, um, but it might. I don't want to take up too much time. Search on vulnerable. I'm probably logged off though. I think I'm timed out. But so adult safety. That's residents. I think it does. I think it does. I had to double check. But I'm pretty. I seem to remember that it does, but I could check that and get back to you. So any other questions before we end it? Again, this webinar will be posted, and once I end it, you will be sent right away, not be sent, but a survey will show up. It's very important that you fill out that survey because we use that internally to help formulate. I think one question is any topics that you would suggest. So please take the time to fill out that survey. It's very important to us and management, of course. So I thank you for your time. Oops, I went through that too fast. Let's move this over here. So again, thank you. Be safe. Everyone, take care. Stay healthy. And that concludes the webinar. Thank you very much.